In the last 24 hours, the American President Donald Trump has given two separate addresses, one to the nation and one before at an Easter lunch. While speaking at the Easter White House event, one statement in particular has made headlines. Trump dismissed funds for America's welfare schemes, saying that the country is fighting wars. The American president's exact statement says, and I quote here, "We are fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, then they should pay for it too." The Trump's further remarks against welfare schemes and programs do not end there, while also emphasizing that the government's central obligation is military protection. Trump went on to call people-centric federal programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP as, quote-unquote, all these little scams. Medicaid in the United States was at the center of a major political storm last year after Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act slashed nearly $1 trillion of Medicaid. The U.S. president made this massive cut in the welfare scheme to partially offset trillions of dollars which he offered in tax cuts instead. And earlier in the week, analysis from a watchdog claims that more than 400 hospitals across the United States are at high risk of closing or cutting services because of the Medicaid cuts made by Trump. And according to the analysis, a total of 446 hospitals across the United States are at varied degrees of risk, with complete shutdown as the worst-case scenario. The Medicaid program is the largest single source of healthcare coverage in the United States. And according to data that's been released by the American Hospital Association, the critical welfare scheme provides health care coverage to 1 in 5 Americans. Now, on the contrary, reports suggest that America's war against Iran is costing the American taxpayers approximately a pretty princely sum of $1 billion to bomb Iran every single day. So far, it's been 32 days since the Americans launched their bombings of Iran, so they've at least spent $32 billion in attacking a foreign country. Now, it's important to put the cost of this war into perspective. 2 weeks ago, the Pentagon had also demanded for an extra $200 billion American dollars for defense amidst the ongoing war. The request needs congressional approval. And if Trump's address to the nation is any indication of the trajectory of the war, it could be another few weeks at least before a ceasefire is possible. And according to Trump, the U.S. military is going to hit Iran harder over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially targeting Iran's power infrastructure and energy-related facilities. Listen to what Trump said.
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead.
All right, we'll bomb them to the Stone Age, is what the American president says, but there's no money, apparently, for Medicare for American people. The comments on welfare and war have raised some concerns, particularly for a support base which voted the Republican president because of his promise to, quote-unquote, put America first. The American president in the past has also been very vocal in his criticism of America's involvement in these foreign wars. So the change of stance has raised some pretty important questions. Will Donald Trump be able to convince his MAGA support base enough that war is more important than Medicare before the midterm elections in November? Or will the MAGA supporters say that they want Medicare more than war? It's going to be an interesting thing to watch out for in how the American people vote.